What's up everyone? So this is my shiny new Pixel 8 Pro. It arrived in the mail on Thursday and I decided that I would take it out for a spin and compare it to my Pixel 6 Pro before I gave my Pixel 6 Pro to my son. I was originally going to skip the Pixel 8 and wait for the Pixel 9, maybe even the Pixel 10, but when my son told me that he wanted a cell upgrade for Christmas, I decided I would bite on that, especially after seeing that Google Fi deal. If you're not using Google Fi, I highly recommend at least trying it out, seeing how it works in your area. There is a link in the description. There's a few other affiliate links in the description as well for some of the products that I showcase in this video. And this video is not a comprehensive review. It's just me doing a comparison to see what kind of an upgrade I'm getting and what I might be missing as well. Before I go take my Pixel 6 Pro to my son, let's get into some of the comparisons. Real quick guys, I just wanted to show you how this best take feature works. In my opinion, it is not gimmicky at all. So when you've got your photo pulled up in Google Photos, you just click on the edit and then you click on best take, and it's going to bring you to where it finds similar shots that you've taken that are the same shot. I only took two, but my dad wasn't smiling in this particular one. So check this out. You're just going to click on his face and then click on the face that you want, and then boom. Right there. It's amazing. I think it's very useful, not gimmicky. Like I said, you can barely tell right under his ear where it had to make some compensations there. But other than that, I think this is a great new feature. We're now recording on the Pixel 8 Pro. When I got it, unboxed it, I immediately noticed that the transfer process from my Pixel 6 Pro was just spectacular. When it was all said and done, the whole process took about 30 minutes. I had all of my icons. The phone just looked identical. Contacts, everything just came over seamlessly. Once that was all done, I quickly snapped a selfie indoors in low light, which had been a serious issue on the Pixel 6 Pro, which by the way, I loved. I had none of the issues that everyone else seemed to have had with the Pixel 6, except the selfie camera, and some of the other cameras just did a serious over sharpening job on my face. But I'm looking at the screen now and it is way better as far as brightness goes. Now I will miss the curved display on the Pixel 6 Pro because I feel like I'm losing a little bit of real estate here with a little bit more larger bezels. Just overall, you know, I know it's unpopular, but I did really enjoy using those the curved screen on that, and I thought it looked great. Let's switch over to the Pixel 6 and see how that looks. All right, so this is a selfie cam on the Pixel 6 Pro. You know, I never really had any issues at all, like I said, with this phone, except I want to name a couple little bit of annoyances with this phone. The first one, like I said before, was that the selfie cam really didn't perform well in low light. The second thing is that the 5G modem drained the battery significantly more than just taking it and putting it in on LTE mode. The other thing was that I don't believe that this screen is an LTPO, which allows a variable refresh rate. So I disabled the always on, which I don't really need that at all. I prefer to just wake the screen up either by lifting it or by double tapping the front of the LCD screen. All right, so as you can see, the Pixel 8 selfie has some rolling shutter issues, and maybe, I don't really think it's over sharpening. I think that it's more over contrasting, because if you look at my beard in some of the shots, you'll see like the grays and the darker areas are like there's a lot more contrast between the two. That's the most apparent thing that I saw. So some people call them skin tones. We're gonna refer to them here as beard tones. Overall, I mean, there's a lot of potential for this. There was a lot more 3D pop or bokeh with the selfie cam on the Pixel 8 Pro in comparison to the Pixel 6 Pro. And I think that's mostly because of the lower aperture, which we're also gonna see that lower aperture will allow more light to be picked up on the sensor. This is the Pixel 8 Pro on the wide angle lens. I really like the fact and the camera layout on this. The wide angle lens appears to be up top. The regular standard wide lens is in the middle, and the telephoto lens is on the bottom. You can clearly see that on the Pixel 8 Pro. Right, so this is the wide angle lens on the Pixel 6 Pro. On this phone, the standard wide is at the top or on the left side of the camera bar. The wide angle is in the middle, and then the telephoto is again on the bottom there. But I really like on the Pixel 8 Pro how the standard wide angle is in the middle. It makes it easier when you're looking at it because that's the lens you're probably going to be using most. Also, this wide angle lens on the Pixel 6 Pro is likely not nearly as wide, and it's also, I believe, a 12 megapixel, whereas the Pixel 8 Pro is a 48 megapixel. So you should see a difference in that. Maybe not so much in the in this really bright sunlight. The ultra wide was much wider than the ultra wide on the Pixel 6 Pro, and it also seemed to have a bit more dynamic range as well, because you can see on the Pixel 6 Pro there was a bit more noise in the shadows. All right, so this is the standard wide angle on the Pixel 8 Pro. I forgot to mention this is 4K 30. I believe on the Pixel 8 Pro, I'm also able to use speech enhancement. I've got that turned on. All right, so this is the standard wide angle on the Pixel 6 Pro. Again, that camera layout here, it's at the top. So I'm having to make sure that I point it down. I'm not sure if I'm in frame exactly. It seems easier to do and get yourself in frame, or to know what you're looking at when you're looking at the middle. The standard wide, or the main sensor on the Pixel 8, appeared again like the selfie to be a bit more contrasty, too much contrast, and the skin/beard tones were often that one as well. But again, lower aperture, probably allowing more light to come in, and also a ton of bokeh, definitely almost like a 1-inch type of sensor kind of bokeh. It really looked like a lot of 3D pop and separation on that particular lens with the Pixel 8 Pro, especially in comparison to the Pixel 6. Although the Pixel 6, it did seem to be more pleasant on the beard tones, and I do think these are things that will get fine-tuned in the future. Overall, Pixel 6, main camera sensor, just better balance, contrast, skin and beard tones. Pixel 8, more bokeh, more potential. All right, so once again, we're going back to the wide angle on the Pixel 8 Pro, because I want to show you these lenses from the rear in order and the transition for those. You'll have to excuse my brush out there, but I think this scene shows you a little bit about what you're going to get with dynamic range, with the shadows there down below from the trees and the bright sun up there, which I can't even hardly see, but I am seeing this somewhat, at least on this bright display here on the Pixel 8 Pro. I'm going to go into the standard wide. I'll let you guys see that, and I'm going to move around here on purpose a little bit so you can get an idea of the stabilization, although I am trained to keep this pretty steady. So there's the standard stabilization on the wide, and there's the standard wide. Here's 2x on the standard wide, and here is the telephoto here. Let's see my brush over here. Still can barely see this in the screen because the sun is reflecting on this, but I can at least make out some of what I'm looking at here because of this super bright screen. I saw in a few videos that I was watching that the stabilization on the telephoto did not do really well in some of these, so I'll get a picture of this for myself here. Let's go back to 2x. Let's go back to the 1x standard wide angle, and then the wide angle zoom here. I think I'm going to fall in love with this wide angle on this because it is definitely an upgrade from the Pixel 6 Pro's wide angle. All right, so this is the wide angle on the Pixel 6 Pro. And by the way, guys, it's 80 degrees in North Carolina. And this device, actually, when I switched back over to it from the Pixel 8 Pro, it said that it was too hot and video quality may be reduced. I've got that a couple times. I mean, I kind of get it if I'm at the beach or something like that. Check out the dynamic range here on that. I think there's more cloud cover now. But I actually had to go in and take it and put it under a fan for a little while just to expedite this process. Eventually it would have cooled down. So here is the standard zoom on the Pixel 6 Pro. By the way, the 8 did feel hot, and I've kept these out as I'm recording in the broad sun. So this is kind of what you can expect. But the Pixel 8 Pro did not have that message on the phone. Maybe eventually it would have, but I am not sure. I'm sure some other channels will show that, the thermal performance better than I can do here. So anyway, just wanted to make quick note of that. Here is the 2X on the 8 Pro, or I'm sorry, the 6 Pro. It looks like the stabilization may be even a little bit better on this. I am not sure. And then here's the 4X telephoto zoom. How is the stabilization and how does it look? It almost like it sticks on this a little more. But anyway, oh, here's the bright sun coming out. It is bright, bright. So check out the dynamic range on this guy right here on the standard. And then let's go back to the ultra wide angle. I keep on calling it just wide, but it is ultra wide on these phones. So anyway, how does this look? Pixel 6 Pro. Just another quick comparison, dynamic range. Switch back over to the Pixel 8 Pro. I can see it better in this screen with that higher brightness level on this particular screen. So I don't know what it looks like or what it's going to look like when I get it back in, but check out that dynamic range there on the standard wide angle. And then we'll just go telephoto as well. Gone down just a little bit, and then check out once again how this stave looks on the telephoto, which I didn't notice. I want to get this in some low light, guys. So anyway, there's the transition there once again. Pixel 8 Pro, how does this one look? The audio recording on the Pixel 8 Pro seemed to be a little bit lower than on the Pixel 6. 6 was a bit fuller as well, and this may be because of the Pixel 8 was doing speech enhancement on all of its lenses, whereas the Pixel 6, you can only do it in 4K 30 on the selfie sensor. You have to turn it down to 1080p on the other ones to get that feature. That seems weird to me, almost like a purposeful cripple hammer. The Pixel 8 seemed to handle heat dissipation better and thermal control better because the Pixel 6 did give me a message that the video quality would be reduced. It didn't stop, but it did give me that message that video quality would be reduced. I went in, I ran a fan on it for a little while, and it was fine throughout the rest of the test. By the way, it was 80 degrees and bright sunlight as well, and I was placing each phone on a deck that was in broad sunlight as well. The screen on the Pixel 8 was much brighter. That doesn't surprise me because I just read that DxOMark, a very popular cell phone and camera lens testing site, has determined that it is the #1 screen in the global market. All right, so this is how the selfie camera looks in pretty low light. I turn the lights off. I do have a window over there, and this is with the Pixel 8 Pro's selfie camera. All right, so this is the selfie camera on the Pixel 6 Pro, and I think I can see the grain so I can demonstrate what I have been talking about with this particular camera. When you saw the low light comparison, the Pixel 8 Selfie, as I was hoping, was much better in low light than the Pixel 6. All right, so this is a low light video test with the wide angle lens with the Pixel 8 Pro. All right, so this is the ultra wide angle lens on the Pixel 6 Pro. Same story on the ultra wide, much better in lower light. But still, again, issues with stabilization, rolling shutter, and some maybe noise reduction algorithms that can be tuned in the future. All right, this is again the Pixel 8 Pro. This is the standard wide angle lens for the Pixel 8. This is the standard wide angle lens on the Pixel 6 Pro. It's essentially the same sensor. I think they're using a GNV sensor and getting a little bit more wider aperture, which allows more light. But I do believe it is essentially the same sensor that's in the Pixel 6 Pro and Pixel 7 Pro, and Pixel 6 and Pixel 7, because they've used the same sensor in the standard wide angle across all three of the phones from Pixel 6 to Pixel 7 to Pixel 8. Right, so there's not much to see here, but this is my camera bag, and this is with the telephoto on the Pixel 8 Pro. All right, this is the 4X telephoto on the Pixel 6 Pro. It's struggling with picking up focus here even, and I believe that the image is a little bit darker. I can tell that the telephoto lens has been upgraded as well from this one, especially when we look at it in low light. Telephoto in low light on the Pixel 8 Pro was much better overall. Again, the Pixel 8 needs some tuning. You could definitely see that the Pixel 6 was doing a lot more noise reduction on the telephoto. I think that they could bump that up a little bit on the Pixel 8 and you would have a stellar image. All right, guys, so I mentioned earlier that I had to go pick up my son. And the reason I wanted to get this review out quickly is that I am going to be giving him my Pixel 6 Pro. I tried to recreate, the experience. I had the box and all of the, things in the box, and let's see if I can get this out one-handed. But I wrapped all the cords up and everything just like new. Designed to be an early Christmas gift, but he actually saw my short video that I had pre-ordered the Pixel 8, so I think he's waiting on this. I want to talk about cases here. I got the Slim Armor Pro from Spigen. I really like having the little wallet case here. Now, one thing about this case is it doesn't really have good heat dissipation. You can do wireless charging with this case though, although it doesn't say it at Spigen's website that you can do it, but I've been doing it with this case since I've had the Pixel 6. For him, I got the Pixel 6 Pro Tough Armor. I really like Spigen cases. They're cheaper on Amazon, by the way, but because they're just simple and they work. This is the old Pixel 6 Pro Slim Armor with the wallet. Carries 2 cards and 1 bill. For me, that comes in use. That's all I need. The Spigen, I think it's called Liquid Air or something like that, but it's a really thin case. This one does handle heat dissipation a lot better. And I used this like when I was at the beach, I didn't want to carry a wallet, or when I put this like on a tripod, when I put a cradle for the phone and I put it on a tripod and use it that way. All right, so I am going to get my son, as I mentioned before, and I just had a couple of thoughts on why I'm doing this the way that I'm doing this. This is how normal people record videos. They don't plan out everything. Oftentimes they're doing things like I was doing. I was doing laundry, I was cleaning my house, I was doing several other things while I'm doing videos. A lot of the times that's how people do video. They don't plan them out, they don't think about good lighting, etc., etc. So this is a real world test. Probably won't get something like this elsewhere, especially from the sponsored videos and everything like that. All right, so this is a really kind of low light situation. He is getting his present right now. Let's see, what is that?
Thank you.
What else?
So six.
Did you think you were getting it this soon?
No, I didn't.
What do you think, buddy?
That is sick.
Do you want to do like take some photos with me, and we can compare the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 8?
Are you recording on the Pixel 8 right now?
Yep.
Oh wow, so you say exact same size. That's sick. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
This is awesome. Thank you for the early Christmas present.
So in conclusion, as you can see on the very last scene in my testing where I gave my son his Pixel 6 Pro, that is an absolute stellar image. So that is the potential that I'd like to see out of the Pixel 8 Pro's cameras. That looked like I shot it on an APS-C camera like the ZV-E10 that I'm using here with a really good lens. I mean, it just knocked that one out of the ballpark, and it was blue light. I was glad I was testing in that environment because I wanted to see how it would perform, and it exceeded my expectations in that particular scene. Stellar performance there. Besides potential, conclusion number 2 is that the Pixel 8 overall performed way better in low light, and this is even prior to some of the AI features coming down the road. But also with those lower apertures comes some challenges, such as higher shutter speed when you're in a super bright light, maybe causing some rolling shutter issues and things like that will need to be tuned in the future. Conclusion 3, the battery life and charging, heat dissipation, much better on the Pixel 8. I say much better, but you're still looking at 2 great phones. But overall, Pixel 8 was the winner in this category as well. I don't think anyone's gonna have any problem getting a full day out of this with a couple 15 to 20 minute, maybe 30-minute charges depending on use during the day. No need to plug this thing in for the entire duration of the night. So wrapping up, and a couple of other thoughts. So first, with the 7 years of updates, everyone's saying, well, are Pixels gonna be around in 7 years? Is Google gonna cancel Pixels? I don't think so. I think that the way that they're doing this is by leveraging their cloud and AI architecture. So they're shifting away from doing everything in the phone. So of course you're gonna have updates within the OS, but will the new phones or will the old phones get these newest updates that are in the cloud? I don't know. Or maybe eventually some of these new AI features that are being processed in the cloud, as the chips get better, are then going to be able to be processed on phone. It kind of reminds me of the shifting that has gone on in computing throughout the decades, going from a client server back to like a PC. Remember, they had thin clients and you connected to a mainframe where all the processing was done. Well, that has gone back and forth over the years, and we're having the same thing, it seems, going on in cell phones. The operating system is going to be kind of bare bones or kept the same, and then the upgrades are going to be with the extensions that are offered with cloud and AI type of features. So the second thing, should you upgrade from your Pixel 6 Pro? I think for me, the answer is definitely going to be a yes. So my thoughts on this are that it's more about timing than it is an incremental update. And it is more than an incremental update, I think. In 2 years, the Pixel, Google is supposed to be changing its chip manufacturing to TSMC from Samsung. We've heard that it's basically a customized Exynos, and that is kind of true. TSMC is the company that manufactures the chips for Apple, and Apple customizes them into their chips like the M1, the M2, and some of their mobile phone processors. That's, I think, the architecture that we're going to be looking at in like 2025 when the Pixel 10 comes out. If you've got the Pixel 6 and you're waiting until the 9, I think the 10 is going to be the one to get. It's kind of leading into kind of like it is with Microsoft, where you skip a year of upgrade cycle and get into the next one. Like for example, Windows 7, skip Windows 8, get Windows 10, skip 11, and probably going to be getting into 12. And I see this pattern happening within the Pixel ecosystem. Anyway, that wraps up my initial thoughts on the Pixel 8 Pro. And if you've made it this far, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more comparisons like this, I'm probably going to be comparing my other phones to this. Subscribe. See you in the next one.